What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Call to Coach. Now, what? I am your vision coach, Latoya Early, and your leadership development trainer here to help you improve and increase your performance, generate profit, and truly impact the lives of people. Welcome to the space. Welcome to the room. Listen, guys, I want to talk about mastering your life's mission. Mastering your life's mission. Um what I'm growing to learn as a leadership development trainer, as a vision coach, is it is very important for us to learn how to master our life's assignment, right? Here's why I am learning for that to be true. Your life's assignment is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded. It's what keeps you focused. It's what keeps you on the journey to pursue whatever it is that God has for you. Whether or not it's in your coaching business, whether or not it's in your professional life, whether or not it's in your personal life, your life's mission is what keeps you grounded in the journey. It's what keeps you grounded when you think about, for those of you who enjoy being on the water, I love being on the water. I love boats. I like beaches. I just like to be in water, around water. And if you notice, when a ship goes out to dock, to sit on the water, they have to throw out an anchor, right? They have to throw out an anchor. Why? That anchor is designed to keep the boat stationed, just in case there's some high waves, some high current, there's a storm. And what I've learned with being a coach is your life's mission is what keeps you anchored during the storms. Today I want to talk to the coaches, the growing coaches, the startup coaches, the established coaches. I want to talk to the coaches who are in a space where you know that you've been called to coach, right? But you're in a space and you're trying to figure out, how do I amplify my gift of coaching? How do I amplify the results that I'm able to bring to the lives of people? How do I live this life that is consistent and grounded in my core beliefs and what I truly believe that I've been called or created to become and do? I know that we have heard about purpose. We hear about purpose so often in many different arenas, whether, you have coaches who are purpose coaches, you have, gurus and influencers who are all about purpose. And when we first started Chase Great, my focus was helping individuals discover purpose so that they can develop purpose and they can live out purpose in their life. And over time, the messaging, the goal has always been the same, but the way that I delivered the message changed and fluctuated. It was based on the season and who I was talking to, and the season I was in my business, and the season that I was in my life. But something that never changed is the results of what I knew, helping others understand their life's purpose, what it did to their future, what it did to their life. If you are building a business, if you are in leadership and you're coaching, understanding and mastering your life mission will yield you the greatest results that you've ever seen in your life. How do I master my life's mission, Latoya? Number one is yielding to the creator who created you, right? Yielding to the creator who created you. It's so ironic how we want to give credit to all of these different sources and all of the, like, we just want to give credit to everything and everyone but the person who is the only person who has declared that he sent his son that we may live, to give us life and life more abundantly. He's the only one who has declared that he sacrificed his life on a cross so that we may live in freedom, so that we may live free from the bondage of sin, so that we may live free from the overwhelm and the fight of life, right? And so when you talk about mastering your life's mission, what you're saying is I want to master who God created me to be. How do I do that? How do I master that? I had a conversation. I've been in conversation with a few people over the course of days. And something that I've learned about myself as a coach is I am genuinely interested in helping people identify the roadblocks that are preventing them from getting to what's next for them. Whether or not it's in leadership, whether or not it's in your career, whether or not it's in your relationship, whether or not it's in your business, whatever roadblocks you're facing, whether they're conscious or subconscious, I believe that my life's mission is to help you identify those roadblocks so that you can eliminate the roadblocks and get to what is next for you in your life. When mastering your life's mission, that is a daily pursuit, right? It's not that you are trying to find something wrong with you every day, but you are in a state of awareness where you identify that something is preventing me, something is stopping me, something is in my way of getting to what I desire to be next for me. And when you're mastering your life's mission, you're open to being diligent to identifying those roadblocks. If you're in a space where you're saying, I know that God has called me to coach, and you desire to reach a level of success in your business, and I'm not just talking about a financial success, I'm talking about a universal success, right? What does that mean? What is a universal success? Is not just being wealthy in my finances, but being wealthy in my mindset, being wealthy in my relationships, and being wealthy in my body, in my health, being wealthy in my spirit. What does that look like? How do we conquer this thing called life? And how do I, as a coach, help those who are called to my voice? Because remember, we've been talking about the ideal client. And instead of focusing on who your ideal client is, what if we focused on mastering the message and learning how to master our mission so that we can articulate the message? What is the message? The message is identifying, is learning how to articulate the challenges, the roadblocks that you've personally experienced that has become a delay or has caused a delay in you reaching your next level of whatever that looks like. Mastering your message is learning how to pull from your life's mission and teach and communicate to people that while you may see these things as a roadblock, or you may see these things as a challenge, if we learn to eliminate them, if we learn to persevere through them. One of the scriptures that we've been teaching on for the past 30 days is James 1, 2 through 4. Count it all joy, right? As a coach, this should be your foundational scripture. Why? Because we are the examples. And what do I mean by that? This is why we focus so strongly on helping coaches identify the specific problem that they solve, right? And the reason why we focus on that is because, let's be honest, we can come up with a boatload of issues. We can come up with a boatload of problems. But what is the key thing that I've learned is that every problem is connected to another problem. If you're in your corporate profession and you're finding it difficult to communicate to your superior, to your team, to the organization through email, you're finding a hard way or you're finding it difficult to get your message across. then we need to sit down and identify, why am I having such a difficult time articulating or communicating my message? We think that, oh, it's because I need to go take some more speech classes, or maybe I need to practice or brushing up on my public speaking skills, right? We come up with all of these external fixes. But what if I told you that your external result is based off of your internal belief? What you are currently believing about yourself and about your business, about your gifts, about your talents, about your abilities and your qualifications, it is a reflection of your current behavior. And so your words may say one thing. You may be saying, Latoya, I do believe this. And Latoya, I do know that I've been called to coach. And Latoya, I do believe that I can help. But your behavior is a reflection of what you believe. And if you've been called to coach, you have to be equipped to go into the belief systems of your client to help them dismantle some of the things that they believe that are preventing them from getting to their next. Well, in order for you to do that in the life of your client or in the life of your team member, then guess what? You have to first be willing to do it yourself. So when we talk about mastering your life's mission, the number one thing is yielding to the creator who created you. Understanding, okay, I believe that God created us in his image. And if he created us in his image, that means that we're also creators. Because he's a creator. He's the master creator. But he's also given us the power and the ability to create. One of my favorite scriptures is to be fruitful and to multiply. Well, that is 3 different steps. The first step is to be. How do you be? You identify, you discover, you learn. It's so funny. I just told, and I'm being super transparent about this, I've been in a space where I am redesigning my approach to business, right? My greatest desire, I love teaching, I love training, but my core is being able to sit before a person, hear their concerns, their challenges, their issues, hearing their goals and where they desire to go, and being able to identify the roadblocks, the challenges, the mental blocks that are preventing them from getting to their next, and designing a strategy so that you can break through and get to what you desire. I want to sit, that's my core desire, my core goal is not just to coach you to money, to just getting more money, but to coach you to freedom. Free from the limitations that you've placed on yourself. Free from the mindset barriers that you've placed on yourself. Free from the limited beliefs that you've placed on yourself. Well, in order for me to be able to generate impact in your life, I have to be willing to sit down and do those things in my own life. And so when we talk about being called to coach and how mastering your life's message will yield great results as a coach, is because when you yield it to the process before you require somebody else to yield to it, it changes your approach. It changes your compassion. It changes your empathy. It changes your commitment to helping that person see what's on the other side of whatever that wall or that barrier that's preventing them to getting to where they truly desire to be. So if you're in a space and you're saying, I want to master communication, I want to master my performance, I want to master my level of success, I want to challenge you to master your life's message. Number 1, yield to the creator. Number 2, discover why you were created. Now, this is something that a lot of people may struggle with, because you feel like, and I felt like this. I felt like it's not big enough. It's not important enough. It's not grand enough. It doesn't make enough noise. And one thing that I had to do, and one thing that I teach my coaches to do, is to embrace the assignment. You may not think being a person who that increases the confidence of other people is important. You may not think being a person who is able to identify the good things in people is important. You may not think helping someone navigate through forgiving a loved one or a friend or a peer or a stranger for harming them. You may not think it's important to some of the things that we, and this is why people struggle with mastering their life's message, because so many people think that their unique value add isn't valuable. It's so innate to us. It's so natural for us that we're like, doesn't everybody do this? You guys know, you watch social media, the whole idea of whether or not people use a rag to wash their bodies or not, right? Another one is whether or not people wash their feet, their legs and their feet in the shower or not. It's the most craziest argument that's on social media, but it is. And for many of you, some of you say, who doesn't use a rag to wash, right? Some of you say, why would you use a rag? Some people say, I use multiple rags, right? But in your mind, your behavior is normal. In your mind, you have convinced yourself that this is the standard, that this is normal. But what if I told you that everyone has their own perception of how to do things? Everyone has their own perspective on how they view situations. And as a coach, a kingdom coach to be specific, as a kingdom coach, it is our job to help shift the shift the perception so that it aligns with what God wants that person to see. So you may think it's normal, but someone who you've been assigned to coach may not have ever thought of this way of thinking in their entire life. We have to stop belittling our assignments. We have to stop looking at what God called us to do to not be great enough, to not be big enough to create an impact in the life of other people. But before you can do that, you have to first see it working in you. And you have to believe that the strategies and the systems that God has given you to help navigate through certain situations of life, that it is powerful enough and it is worthy enough to provide it to someone else. That is difficult. I was sharing just recently, I was like, man, everyone in my family, well, for the most part, it's two talents that my family has that I just don't believe that I have. And it's on my mom and my dad's side. My mom and my dad's side. They both can do hair. My dad was a master wave technician back in his day. My mom knows how to do hair. My sister knows how to do hair. My aunts knows how to do hair. Like, they all are creatively talented with their hands, right? My dad's side, they are also talented in hair, right? My mom's side, they can sing. For those of you who know, my family, they're known for singing. Two things that I just don't have the capability to do: hair and singing. Just recently, of course, we relocated. We now live in a different state. And I've had to do my children's hair. I've had to do my hair and I've had to do my children's hair. My children have locks and we interlock. Once one child is a palm roll, the other ones are interlock. And I was doing their hair and I'll do their hair and they'll go and get a haircut. And the barber will always ask the boys, do your mama do this? She should start doing this. Tell your mama if she need a client to let me know. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do hair. But what I did, I fell into a space and I said, you know what? But if I did hair, there's a tangible exchange, right? You give me money, I do your hair, you walk away, I'm good. And we get comfortable in that because it makes us feel good. It's an instant gratification. It's an instant validation. And what the belief that I had to change about who I am and what I do as a coach is that while there may not be an instant gratification in coaching, while there may not be an instant return, every seed shall reap a harvest. And it takes a lot more faith and confidence to believe in that seed than it does in a hairstyle. And that is a struggle for a lot of people, especially people who believe that they've been called to coach and the results that they yield are internal development results. It's results in the future generation. The things that I teach in my coaching, when I sit down with a client and the things that we're able to dismantle and the beliefs that we're able to break down and the expectations and the standards, all the things that we're able to navigate through so that my client can get to what's next, those seeds can produce immediately or those seeds can take 10 years to produce. The beauty of it is I believe with 100% that the seed that is sown will reap a harvest. That level of belief in your coaching is what's going to keep you grounded and keep you forward moving in the call to coach. But you have to believe that that God has equipped you with what's needed to serve and support other people. Well, how do you do that? How do you increase that level of belief? Right? How do you increase that level of belief? You master it in your life. You master it in your life's mission. When I go and I talk to people and I'm coaching them through certain things, I never coach people giving them strategy or instruction that I've never implemented myself. If I'm telling you to go forgive, guess what I do? I sit down and say, Latoya, who do you need to forgive? When I say, let's be free from feeling rejected and abandoned, I sit down and say, okay, Latoya, who have you felt rejected and abandoned by? These are the skills that helps you master your life's message. The more that you work on yourself and master the assignment, the more you're able, or the more clear you're able to articulate this in the messaging. Remember, he that has an ear to hear, let him hear. But in order for him to hear, you have to be willing to share the message. In order to share the message, you have to be able to clearly articulate the message. How do I do that? By day-to-day practicing and mastering the mission. Every single day you show up. Every single day you show up and say, you wake up and you say, what can I do to make me greater today? What are the things that I need to eliminate? No, we're no longer going to operate as the victim. How do I establish myself as the victor? The Bible says that we are more than conquerors. More means greater than. So we're more than conquerors. Then I don't have any room to be victimized. I have to identify my gaps so that I can master those areas. So that when the person that I am assigned to as a coach, I'm able to help them clearly navigate through their challenges to reach what's next for them. Mastering your life's mission will yield great results as a coach. Mastering your life's mission will yield great results as a leader. When I tell you it's the most freeing thing to know that I've been placed on this earth to do this. This is what I've been placed here to do. Now, how I do it, when I do it, where I do it, how often I do it, how successful I am at doing it, all of those things are really based on my level of work. Faith without work is what? Dead, right? So it's really based on my level of commitment, my level of commitment to the process, my level of commitment to making sure that I'm pruning daily. So you as a coach, you've been called to coach. Now what? Now what's next? What do you do next? You learn how to master your life's mission. You align yourself with the creator. And when I talk about the creator, I am not talking about the universe. I am talking about Jesus Christ. I am talking about the God above all gods, El Shaddai, Alpha and Omega, right? When we align ourselves with who he created us to be, we believe in the systems and the processes that he's downloaded in us, and we apply action daily, we're mastering our life's mission. What is the reward of this? What is the benefit of this? Your relationships get better. Coaching, understand that coaching is not just for the client. Coaching is not just for you to generate money. I share with you guys all the time. Listen, if you're building your coaching business as a side hustle, I'm not your coach. I'm not. Don't even call me. If you're building your business to make money, I'm not your coach. I'm not. My focus is not on helping you make money. My focus is on helping you identify the assignment that God has called you to, so that you can serve and be impactful to the lives of the people that God has assigned you to, and then money will come. But if you're so focused on the money that you're not willing to do the work so that you can be an impact to the people, I am not your coach. Now, that took a long time, because for a long time I wanted the money. I'm in business. This is what I do all day, full time. I still got bills. I still got a light bill. I still got a gas bill. I still got a mortgage. I still got car notes. I still got insurance. I still got kids. I still got groceries. I still have all of the things. So at the end of the day, when building a business, you want to make money. But when you start to focus more on the money, on the profit, than you do on the mission, then it distorts your direction. But when you learn how to master your life's mission, you show up in relationships differently. You show up in life differently. You don't let certain things bother you. You don't let certain things knock you off your square, right? Because you remember we talked about in the beginning how your life's mission is the anchor. It's the anchor. It's the buoy that keeps you grounded. So when the storms come, when people come, when relationships come, when situations come, when life come and begin to move you all around and try to uproot you, guess what? My life's mission is my core. So I can't be moved. And I use this mission in all areas of my life. I use it in my relationships. I try to. When I talk to my friends, I get on their nerves a lot. I do. I get on my husband's nerve. I get on my sister's nerves. I know I do. But I love you, so I don't care. Right? I know that my expectation for people to desire change and to desire growth and to desire strategy is through the roof. I know that. I'm learning that about myself. I am learning that as a coach, I have absorbed my life's mission to be my day-to-day behavior, right? I live in my life's mission. So that means that when I go to the grocery store, when I go to church, when I have my assignments, when I'm at home, when I'm with my children, my core, my life's mission is to always help someone eliminate the challenges, the limited beliefs, the roadblocks that are preventing them to getting to whatever is next. And that's in everything that I do. And the moment that I began to embrace that that's who I was and stop believing or telling myself that it wasn't big enough, that people don't want to pay for that, people don't want that, Now, don't get me wrong. I do have moments where I struggle because I do feel that people are so much more interested in instant gratification that they want the results, but they don't want the work. That frustrates me because I'm called to the work. And I know the results are going to come. That's not even a question. When me and my husband married 13 years ago, got together 13 years ago, we've been married 12 years. When we started dating 13 years ago, there were some things that I saw in him. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I know that he's in this direction and this is what he's been taught and this is what he's been doing, but I can see so much more in him. My husband is so smart. My husband is so intellectually brilliant. And I'm not even saying that because he's my husband. I'm saying that because I understand how the brain works and I understand how he articulates thoughts and how he's able to dissect thoughts and how he's able to help you see things from a different perspective and how he's able to teach you differently and show you differently. All the things that were suppressed in him over his life. And it took some time and it took some development. And we were able to move to a whole nother state because of that gift. The gift that was suppressed, the gift that wasn't seen to be valuable. He's been able to take his family, move us to a whole nother state, fully financed, because that talent and that gift began to surface. I've been working with a client, a leadership C-suite client, and we've been working together for 12 months. And I just shared with her how she just makes me smile because I'm watching her. I was sitting in a meeting with her just recently, and I watched how bold she was in the meeting. I watched how she went after exactly what she wanted from this person. I watched how she, with confidence, stood ground and what she wanted and the direction that she was going to take to get it. I watched her. I've listened to her conversation with other leaders and how she stands her ground and she has more confidence in how she show up and she's more clear in how to articulate what she desires out of the relationship or out of the partnership. And I stood back and I smiled. I said, because while you may have thought that this would have only taken 2 or 3 coaching sessions, we've been working together for 12 months, and I can see so much growth. I can see so much development and so much boldness in who she is today. Understand that coaching is more than a business. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's a daily self-evaluation. And if you're truly ready to impact the lives of people and generate income and be successful and be wealthy and all the things that we desire, you have to first be willing to sit down and master your life's message so that you can master your life's mission and truly be impactful in the lives that you are assigned to. Yes, each and every one of us, whether or not it's through corporate, whether or not it's through our business, whether or not it's at the grocery store, I believe that God has assigned somebody to somebody. I remember when I was struggling in my coaching business. I remember God saying, Latoya, just like I called you to serve and to work with other people, I've assigned somebody to you. But it wasn't until I became confident in the mission. And I didn't become confident in the mission until I started to master it. Have a fantastic, fantastic day. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with me today for Call to Coach Now What? Master your life's mission, master your message, and become niche certified in your coaching business. check out the link in the caption. We are gearing up for our next set of trainings, and we want you a part. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.